It's Gorman in the morning with Fletcher and Ryder. Now, 92 KQRS.
Quick question. You strike me. You're a girl dad. You strike me as a pretty emotional guy. You wear your heart on your sleeve. 100%. You're not afraid of a couple of tears every now and again.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you nailed it.
That'll be that way. How's Mr. Riders? You know, will he tear up?
And he's talking about it being a problem. Like he's like, I haven't cried in however long. He's like, I think that might be an issue.
That's eventually you're gonna have to let the waterworks flow.
Yeah.
That's all there is to that. I ask because of this. There's a radio station in Ontario, and they had a caller call in. To basically file an official complaint, not with the FCC, but with her husband.
Yeah.
Real quickly, she explains the whole thing right here.
We got married 2 years ago, and he sees me in my wedding dress coming down the aisle. This man does not shed a tear. My dad gave this beautiful speech on our wedding day. Nothing. Yesterday, he's watching this golf tournament, and he cried when whatever his name is, when he won, he cried over a golf. It is the maddest I've ever been.
Yes, of course he cried. Rory has waited 12 years to break through to the Grand Slam. I had tears in my eyes when he hit that putt. That's a true story.
Tell me you're pissed beyond belief without telling me you're pissed beyond belief.
She said at the end, she said, I've never been so angry in my life. So husband doesn't shed a tear on the wedding day, but then watches a man he'll never meet win the Masters, and the waterworks turn in. 651-989 Rock is the KQ Talk and text line. Let's just say this.
It's interesting.
I want to know if you have ever cried at a sport because of a sporting event. And can you add to that combo platter, oh, but I didn't cry at my own wedding? That's a pretty good. But did you cry at your own wedding? Have you cried because of something other people that you don't know personally did in an athletic pursuit? Eric with a text here cried tears of sadness when Gary Anderson missed that field goal.
He is not alone.
He is not alone at all.
For a lot of Minnesotans.
Ooh, cried tears of joy when Chelsea FC won their first Champions League title. Man after my own heart. Not the Chelsea bit, but otherwise.
Yeah.
Did not cry at my wedding. Attaboy. Attaboy. Strong right there. Oh, boy, here we go. Yeah, Sarah said same. Shed a tear in 98 when the Vikings lost to the Falcons. Oh. Yeah, a lot of those, like you said. George, anytime I watch Rudy, I weep at the end. I've seen it at least 15 times. Never watched it. Never saw it.
Really?
It's about Notre Dame.
Yeah, well fine.
Not going to do it.
Also an incredible human story. And
I refuse to be invested in a Notre Dame story. I can't do it.
Who was that said that?
That was a guy named George.
George, I'm with you. I've teared up many times at that movie.
Oh, I got choked up at Rudy, yeah.
Ryder, did you cry at your wedding?
Yeah, but only because he cried first.
Oh, he did cry at the wedding?
Yes, like he started, and that's probably the last time he cried.
The Iceman melteth when he saw you in that dress.
Yes, the black dress.
The black dress,
yes. So he cried first, and then I cried. Sports, I think the closest I ever got, and you know it's coming when the Lions cross their finger, do the thing that I'm not going to say out loud because it'll jinx it.
Yep.
Sports, I was watching at Game 6 of the 2017 Stanley Cup Finals, which you'll recall was Nashville taking on my Pittsburgh Penguins.
I was there.
I know. I talked to Connell about it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. And, I think the closest I got was tearing up there. And then I was like, kind of super drunk buying merch online at the time in my basement apartment. And I heard on your end it was not nearly as fun.
No, it was not the same situation at all. The only thing that was okay about it was there was no question who the better team was.
Yeah.
I mean, I went first time I saw them in I was like, we're not beating this team in a 7-game series. That's just not going to happen.
No.
Yeah.
I have cried watching soccer more than any other sport for me because those late goals. I mean, goals are so rare. Mm-hmm. The buildup of a goal in a otherwise meaningless regular season game can be very emotional. Like if you've waited 87 minutes and then you break through after all the near misses, all that emotion comes out. It's very normal at a soccer match game, whatever, when you're there to just be in celebration. Tears are just flying out of your face all the time. But it's funny. The Gary Anderson miss, I was cheering from Atlanta, my band, we were all on tour together watching the game, but Robert Smith was our friend, so we were actually very much cheering for the Vikings. Falcons, no one likes the Falcons in the 90s. There's some Falcons fans now, I guess.
Yeah.
But we were like, but that was devastating for us. I mean, truly, just like, you got to be kidding me, because we were we were going to perform at the Super Bowl 2 weeks later. So we wanted the Vikings there. So Robert would be, we had this whole thing like, this will be awesome. We're going to go play the pregame. And no, we had to sit there and watch the Falcons like everybody else. Like, sad. Here's another text. I cried when the Twins won the 87 World Series. I didn't cry at my own brother's funeral. Ooh.
Wow, really?
Well, I mean, sometimes it's just too much. Sometimes, the saddest moments in life, sometimes you just can't even begin. You can't even think about opening up that wellspring,
Yeah.
Clamp up a little bit, for sure.
Jill said, I teared up when Rory won the Masters. I'm with you there, Jill. I've cried at concerts. I've cried watching music makes me cry all the time.
Oh,
I've seen performances when I least expect it, but something will just wash over me.
Yeah.
And it just, the whole world disappears into that moment of a song. There's nothing quite like it.
She's got a rational argument here.
She does have a rational argument. It's like, I mean, but
she?
It's yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I think that maybe she could have paid a little more attention to some, clues along the way. He's not going to probably shed a tear at the wedding. I mean, you spend a little time with somebody, you kind of figure it out. I would think, especially if you're planning to marry them, how they go about showing emotion.
Maybe
That's fair.
Maybe she should have followed golf more closely. Then she would have cried too.
Rich said he did not cry at his own wedding, but I plan to at our daughter's wedding on May 17th. Oh, that's nice.
He's already planning.
Yeah. Congrats, Taylor and Max. The old man's going to ball. Okay, That's good.
I love that.
That is very good.
I plan to.
All right, this one I can relate to. Good morning. Tears when my 5-year-old son achieved his first hit at a T-ball game.
Oh,
there we go.
Sure. He went into his own world running slow motion to first base, only watching his arms and legs. I never saw first base till he stepped on it. I was the sobbing, cheering dad yelling go. Of course you were.
It is so easy with the kids. Like they do the smallest things and I get choked up. Mm-hmm. It's unbelievable how it's such a deep rooted love.
It is. Here's a text. I cried when Brett Favre threw interception in 2009 against the Saints in the NFC Championship game.
Across the body.
Then I got drunk.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say I cried when we signed Brett Favre.
Yeah, wow.
But
that was a fun season,
that
though.
was just an inevitability.
But as they say,
was one.
yes, live by the Favre, die by the Favre. That's what we said all year.
Right.
Yeah.
It's Gorman in the morning with Fletcher and Ryder, 92 KQRS.
How about some smart scientist dudes are bringing back animals that have bringing back animals that long ago went extinct. I'm not talking about like this white rhinoceros that went extinct a year ago. I'm talking about the fact that a company called Colossal Biosciences. Let's just start with the name Colossal Biosciences. What kind of biosciences are you guys into?
What could go wrong?
Fair to middling biosciences?
No.
Tiny guy biosciences? No, Colossal Biosciences.
It sounds like they were having trouble naming their business, and finally somebody threw up their hands and said, screw it, Colossal Biosciences.
I think that's exactly what it was. Well, they have given us the answer to the question I don't think any of us haven't asked. I mean, how many times do you wake up in the middle of the night and think to yourself, what's a dire wolf puppy sound like? I mean, that's kind of right. I mean, I wake up thinking about things like that
all the time.
I'm watching Game of Thrones. I'm thinking about the dire wolf, and I'm wishing I had one. And then I'm like, I wonder what a dire wolf that's been extinct for over 10,000 years would sound like. Company Colossal Biosciences has introduced to the world not one but two dire wolves, a species of animal that went extinct over 10,000 years ago. There are three in existence. They have put two of them, Romulus and Remus, on display. They were born October 1st, 2024. They are now sharing these wolves with the world. And again, to answer the question of the day, hey, what's a dire wolf puppy sound like? Here's what it sounds like. Aww. Man, that sounds so cute. And then in a couple years, they turn and destroy their creators.
Eat your face.
Yeah, they just rip them right apart. Heads are rolling down the laboratory hallways when these things decide they've had enough of the humans.
Okay, quick question for the dog people, because I've never owned a dog, much less a puppy. Is that really close to what puppies sound like, or is there a difference? Okay.
If you ask me, whether it's a German Shepherd or the fiercest wolf on the planet, they all kind of sound the same when they're puppies.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, they do. The dire wolf, as I said, gone for 10,000 years. Here's just a little bit of Colossal Biosciences. That sounds like a company in a bad Marvel movie. What are they doing at Colossal Biosciences? They're trying to ruin the world.
You're not wrong.
These two wolves were brought back from extinction using genetic edits derived from a complete direwolf genome, meticulously reconstructed from ancient DNA found in fossils that date back 11,500 and 72,000 years.
I want to add to this, too. There's this person on the staff named Shapiro. I don't remember the first name. Doesn't matter. Her team had to extract more direwolf DNA from two existing fossils to better sequence the animal's genome. Like, I'm just like, think about your job being sitting down and figuring out the sequence of an animal's DNA and correctly constructing the genome. Like the whole thing is just like, what's the end game here? What's the why? Why are we doing this? That's what I want to know.
Interesting you say that, because so there was on X, formerly known as Twitter, people were responding to Colossal's post and said, Why are you doing this? What are the guardrails? When will you stop? Why is this a good idea? And here's their answer. Wolves play a vital role in maintaining the balance and structure of their ecosystems. Restoring these essential players is absolutely central to our broader conservation goals, or as I call it, absolute horse crap.
Yeah, that's called made up.
Yeah. No, you just want to be the guys that said, we brought back something. Now, of course, and all over social media, it's okay. Let's get the dodo back. Let's get the saber-toothed tiger back. That's what the world needs. A tiger with bigger teeth.
Yeah. Well, how about there's the woolly mammoth, of course, right?
What about
the woolly rhinoceros? I didn't know that existed. I want to see a long-haired, fuzzy rhinoceros back. That'd be pretty awesome.
I don't think they want to cuddle with you, bro.
I know that there's a species, a certain type of rhinoceros just went extinct very recently, the last one on Earth. And having seen rhinos in zoos up close, are we going to miss them, honestly? I mean, I'll be the bad guy. What purpose is the rhino serving?
I don't think you're the bad guy. There's natural selection.
These things happen.
When stuff happens, I mean, sure, are we as humans impacting all of it? Yeah, absolutely we are. But you know what? The planet's pretty resilient, et cetera, et cetera. Here's the other thing, too, is they say a gray wolf is genetically 99.5% identical to the direwolf. So why do we need the direwolf? You've already got a 99.5% identical match.
Nobody else wants a pet dinosaur? I mean,
no.
You would
Have you seen Jurassic Park?
Have you seen the Flintstones?
Connect with us on the KQ Talkin' text line. 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
We're going to play a game called Beat the Jock. You will choose, do you participate in the game versus Fletcher or versus me? And you're going to get a topic. You got 20 seconds to fill out a list, name all the things you can. I think we've explained this well enough. First up, I believe we have Kathy in Forest Lake. Kathy, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
How's it going over there?
It's going really good. Great game last night.
It certainly was. Are you excited about tomorrow's game?
I would be. I would love to go.
Awesome.
All right, Kathy, the topic is going to be foods that you commonly eat with a spoon. Do you want to play against Steve or do you want to play against Fletcher?
Who's slower?
You
Not gonna tell you.
You tell me. I think they're both pretty sharp.
I am going to play against Steve.
You're going to play against Steve. Okay.
All right.
Steve.
So
Headphones off.
Oh, I got to. Okay, I'm going. Oh, I was going to say I'm going blind. I'm going deaf here.
You are.
Yeah.
And then Fletcher, you got to help me keep score.
Okay,
All
I'm
right,
on it.
Kathy, you're going to have 20 seconds to name as many as you can. It's foods that you commonly eat with a spoon. Ready, set, go.
Soup, applesauce, ice cream, mashed potatoes, stew, cereal, rice, risotto, green peas, kiwi, yogurt, oatmeal, kiri, squash, chili, porridge.
Porridge.
Oatmeal.
Time, Kathy. Oh,
Did
man.
you give her that last one or no?
No, not that last one. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I got 14. What'd you get?
Oh,
1,
Lord.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Oh, boy.
Did you hear that number, Steve?
Yeah, I did hear that
14.
number. I'm suddenly not feeling too good about it.
You'll be fine.
All right.
You'll
I
be
don't know.
fine.
I don't know.
All right. So reminder, the category is foods you commonly eat with a spoon.
All right.
3, 2, 1, go.
Cereal, soup, porridge, grits, mac and cheese, mashed potatoes, creamed corn, pasta, like rigatoni. Oh, crap. Chili. How could I forget chili? Pie. Rice.
I'm going to give you rice.
Okay, you're going to give him right. How about, hey, Ryder, how about these two both saying porridge? What is this, the 1800s?
I thought that was, really? Both of us?
You both said porridge. Come on, man. What is happening?
All right.
Porridge.
I have good news for Kathy.
Uh-oh.
Because my final count for Steve is 11. Fletcher, what
That
did
was
you get?
it?
I had 9, actually.
You gave
but
him 9.
You gave him rice? Okay, 10. I 10.
I gave both of them rice. They actually both said rice, too. Kathy, dude.
Oh, man.
You are going to hockey tomorrow.
Yeah.
Steve is flabbergasted.
I got boat raced.
Kathy, who are you most excited to watch play tomorrow?
Oh, my gosh. I mean, the goalie's great. I mean, wow.
Gus the bus?
Gus, get on the Gus
Yeah.
bus. Yeah, well, you're going to go see the Gus bus tomorrow.
Oh, my gosh. What a game. Thank you so much.
Get out your green gear.
Kathy, I'm happy for you, but I'm pissed. I hate losing. God.
Hang tight, Kathy.
Man, that's a drag. Sit tight, Kathy.
I knew you were in trouble when you started specifying what pasta.
Yeah, it was
Type
like
of pasta?
I can't believe I. Well, what Jello? I guess I could have come up with.
I gave you pasta, but I've never seen anyone eat pasta with a spoon other
Neither
than
have
the
I.
spaghetti spoon and
spoon.
fork thing.
He panicked.
Pudding. I lost out on pudding.
Jello pudding,
I could have specified tapioca. Ah, damn.
You know, we can't win them all, Steve. Can't win them all.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Gorman in the morning with Fletcher and Ryder on Minnesota's 92 KQRS. And in case you're wondering what the hell that was, we're going to play a game called Rank You Very Much. And not only are we going to play Rank You Very Much, we're going to do it with Jesse Pierce in studio. Jesse, Bar Down Beauties, hockey savant, I'll go ahead and say.
I like that.
Let's go with that.
Take that.
That's strong.
I'm feeling it.
Good morning, Jesse.
Good morning.
Up early and in the room and everything.
Flattery will get you everywhere, too.
Yeah.
I'm happy
Always
to be
works.
here.
Let's also note that she wasn't supposed to come in until next hour, but
Right.
we asked her if she wanted to play Rank You Very Much, and she's here. So she's a giver.
Yeah.
And she's a hard worker. There's some work ethic there, obviously.
I mean, it's fun to hang out with you boys.
Isn't that nice?
It's a good time.
I would think it'd feel more like losing a bet, but that's just me.
Playoff hockey right around the corner, and now Rank You Very Much. It's a beautiful time of year.
Mm-hmm.
Rank You Very Much. We select a category. We all give our top 3.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to make this as quick as possible to explain.
Yep.
A game that you've been playing for many years with many folks, and you've brought it to Gorman in the morning.
Yeah.
And so I, Paul, am leaving it up to you. What is today's category?
Today's category is best 3-syllable band names. It's important to make the distinction. This has nothing to do with how good the band may or may not be.
Okay.
This is simply an English assignment. Really, It's an English homework assignment.
Okay, we welcome text 651-989-ROCK, the best 3-syllable band names of all time. Quick question, I gotta ask: do we allow articles, or do they count as one of the 3 syllables, like the or a? Is it if I want to say the? Does that give me an extra syllable, or does that count as one of the 3?
I mean, you know what? I leave it up to its own. Every person can, I think, interpret that the way they want to.
Wow,
I'm not really picky either way on that one, I don't think.
I'm gonna call an audible and say yes. We're gonna allow the to be separate. So if you have the and then 3 more syllables,
Okay.
game on.
Thank you for
At
that.
the same okay, all right. You know what?
That right there is production, ladies and gentlemen.
In the interest of moving it along, we'll just say yes.
Okay.
I'll agree.
Whatever we got. All right, so let's we're going to start with our number 3s, and then we'll do our 2s, and eventually we'll get to our 1s. Jesse, you're the star of the day. You're our visiting guest. Let's go ahead. Let's start with you.
We're going to start easy. We're going to go with OAR. OAR of a Revolution. I have seen them in concert probably more than any other band. Big fan. Had the opportunity to meet them. OAR. I'm going to rock with them. Yeah.
Wow.
You know what?
Coming in out of left field. I like it.
I'm going to go on the attack here.
Okay.
Oh. That's a terrible selection.
You're a terrible selection. Excuse me.
You know what? Yeah. OAR is phenomenal, but that's 3 letters.
Okay, I mean, okay, fine. You want me? All right, I got my.
Nope. You have to stick to your 3.
But.
Nope.
But I was excited to say OAR.
Fair enough.
You know what? I think it's fantastic.
I think it was
Mark.
I didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
All right. You see, they're just being nice because you're a guest.
I mean,
they are a great band, though. I love them. I love them.
If I were going to go with a 3-letter band, of course I would have said REM. But you want to go OAR, you do it your way.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay, I've heard of OAR. I've heard some of their music. What does it mean? What are the words again?
Of a Revolution. So see, I would have done it that way, except it doesn't work. Yeah, that doesn't 3 syllables,
play by
right?
the rules.
So I had to
play by the rules.
OAR.
All right.
It wasn't
No, I'm totally down. I did not expect to hear that at all. Ryder?
Jesse, I like you being sneaky. I like that way you got that one in.
That's what it is.
My number 3, Motorhead.
Yeah.
Can't argue that.
Pretty great band name. Pretty great band.
Yeah. And I went by with what I thought were great bands. They're okay.
Yeah.
I went with what I thought were great bands. So all of mine are bangers.
That's great. Yeah. I love that.
It's total sarcasm on the they're okay. That was the whole intent. They're okay.
What do you got, Fletcher? Number 3.
I'm 3. 9-Inch Nails. Ooh. I mean, it's just the name is just it evokes imagery and you can kind of get an idea of what kind of music the band makes just on 9-Inch Nails alone, and
that's very true.
Yeah, 9-Inch Nails is a solid 3.
What
do you got?
My first one. For the younger listeners, you may not even know this was a part of the jargon before this band co-opted it. Talking Heads. That's what we used to call. That's what we used to call people on the news. They're just a talking head.
Yeah,
fair.
And that's not something you ever hear anyone use anymore because the Talking Heads band came along and just stole it. Mm-hmm. But I've always just as far as and I do happen to love their music, but just as a name, I remember still hearing like Talking Heads. Oh, what a good band name!
Very. It's kind of it's a name that's subtly on the attack. You know what I mean? They're totally making fun of. So many people,
absolutely.
That's the only thing I don't like about this particular category is it's really tough. Other than Jesse's OAR, it's really tough to nitpick and attack people.
Other than Jesse's,
I probably won't be able to attack you again though. It'll probably be the only one.
This next one is
really
good. It's polarizing for most people, but I know it's a good one in my heart and soul.
Lay it down.
Now you're up, number 2.
Nickelback. That's what we're going with. I'm standing by it. What are our feelings?
We're just going off names, and
well, she's not going just off names.
I'm not. I love them.
Okay, great. Well, that's fantastic.
Right?
No,
you know what?
I mean, some people like mayonnaise. We're all different. We're all different people.
I haven't said this openly yet on the show.
Yeah.
And you know what? It actually gives them some good fodder to pick on going through. I love them too. There, I said it.
I've kept it a dirty little secret for far too long. I listen to them every time I leave the arena. If the Wild have won, it's just kind of a little thing I do. Yeah. I don't know. There's something about it.
It's loaded with cheese, but it's good songwriting, man. It just is.
Hey,
it's good storytelling.
At least it's not Creed.
Fair.
I mean, there's always that.
It's not much difference.
Creed's going to come on the day we do 1-syllable band.
That's exactly right. All right, no, man, OAR and Nickelback. I mean, you are just swinging for the fences here. This is fantastic.
Yeah.
Ryder, what do you got?
I don't want to talk smack about Canadian bands.
No.
My number 2, Soundgarden.
Yeah.
Soundgarden.
Oh, man. And it's a good,
there we go.
Yeah. That's
great band.
I'll tell you what, right now, Ryder is taking this very seriously.
Yeah, absolutely.
I went through my CD collection and looked at how many syllables were in some of these band names.
That's so great.
Sure.
That's part of the fun of this game, right? Is the work that you kind of have to put in behind the scenes sometimes. It like that. You probably saw some stuff like, oh, I'm going to listen to this today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
what do you got?
I did rock some Soundgarden.
Number 2?
Yep.
A band that's, I believe, is coming to town that we are presenting, the Sex Pistols.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, again, imagery is there. It accomplishes a goal.
It all.
It accomplishes a goal. It's not just some name it's not a placeholder.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. My number 2, Grateful Dead. And again, We don't have to think about. We don't have to analyze the difference when Mickey Hart wasn't there and they're actually listenable. We can just discuss the fact that it's a great band name.
Is it? I would say no on that. Grateful Dead.
What does it even mean?
Exactly.
Like Grateful Dead? Like they're dead people. They don't get to be grateful.
It means anything you want it to mean.
Oh,
but
okay.
just you're the guy talking about imagery. Hey, man, it's like bang. Nobody ever said, what was that band called? You hear it, you remember.
That's true.
The Grateful Dead.
But it's
or
like
simply
Grateful Dead, and they got the Dancing Bears, which they have nothing to do with each other. But it's fine. It's fine. I'm going to relent.
What, did the Rolling Stones have lips? No.
That's true.
But come on, man.
Yeah,
don't overcomplicate these things. Our number
I'm
one.
just trying to find things to nitpick. That's all.
651-989-ROCK. Is the text line where you can share band names with us. A lot of our listeners don't know what syllables are, but I'm not gonna kick dirt in their faces. Syllables. Hey, 3. That's all you get.
A really quick on-air production meeting.
Yeah.
We should start deciding who wins each week. Even if it's kind of like, you remember Whose Line Is It Anyway? The award points and the points don't matter.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. We should, we don't even have to have points. We just decide at the end who wins.
Well,
it's going to be me today.
Well, I'm sorry. No, as a Southern gentleman, it has to be company wins. So, Jesse, you've already got the blue ribbon. Well done. Jesse Pierce in studio with us. We're going to discuss. We'll be talking hockey, soon enough. But right now, it's all about the 3-syllable band names. We've heard your first two, OAR and Nickelback. Both coming in out of left field. I'm honestly tantalized by what I'm about to hear.
You know what's funny is there were two. I came up with two, and one is completely off the rails. And actually, it's not even probably considered a band. I'm going to save that. I'll do a secondary afterward. But I'm going to go with Nirvana as my top one.
That's as good as it gets.
That's as good
and
as
they
it
are
gets.
an actual band, too. So that one
yes.
Exactly.
An all-time great band name.
So good.
I remember very clearly picking up the first album, Bleach, in a record store and going, oh, that's a good band name. Like, damn.
Yeah.
Because I'm always on the hunt for a band name.
Yeah.
And boy, nowadays it's impossible. I'm 2 years in with a new band. We can't come up with a name. It's impossible.
It's hard.
But Nirvana is one of those ones. It's just absolutely fantastic.
It's going to be 10 years before you guys release that music because you can't come up with a band name.
It's we can all laugh about it, but it's not funny.
It's not funny. It's not funny. Except it's kind of
Get
funny.
me out of this K-hole where I can't name my own band. Who you got?
To be Nirvana. Nirvana number 1. If we're not doing around the horn Nirvana, somebody's getting fired today.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fair enough.
Well,
she's saying that's
I'm in danger.
Uh-oh. Here we go. What do you got? Number 1.
My number 1, a band I saw at the what was it called? Water's Edge or whatever. I was on Harriet Island 2012. Dave Matthews and Tool headlined, and there was a side stage, and I'd never seen this band before. And I don't even go deep on this band, but I saw them, and they blew me away with the performance, the colors on stage, the Flaming Lips.
Yeah.
Flaming Lips. Saw him and first time I saw that band, I had a similar experience, and it was in the 80s.
So good
it was
live.
Forever ago.
So good.
Phenomenal.
Mesmerizing.
Yeah. So you're taking advantage of the definite article "the" as a exempt from a syllable. The Flaming Lips.
Is that technically in their name?
I believe it. Maybe. Oh, you know what? Actually,
I think they're just Flaming Lips.
See, I was going to go either
they're
way.
The Flaming Lips.
Either way, great band. I'm fully endorse that decision of yours.
Thank you.
I was going to go one of my favorite band names, just a great word, but because it had "the," I backed away from it. I was going to go with the Raconteurs. Okay. Just love that name. But my final 3-syllable band name, Husker Du.
Husker.
Come on, man. Husker Du.
You got the 2 little dots above the U.
3.
What are those called when you have little dots?
The umlaut.
Yeah, the umlaut. That's what it is.
Needs the accent too. You need to say it just like that.
Of course,
right?
Yeah. I believe that's actually Husker Du is it a Danish expression? I believe maybe. Could be wrong.
One of those Scandinavian countries.
I know it was. All I know is it was a game when I was a kid. There was a game called Husker Du. It was like basically, it was like matching cards. Do you remember that? It was.
I played
do you
that.
remember?
That
That's what that means, pretty much. Yeah.
Yep. You just nailed it. I just looked it up.
Yeah.
Norwegian Danish name that translates or phrase that translates to "Do you remember?" Very good. well done. You get a gold star.
Remember?
Jesse may get the blue ribbon for winning. Thank you very much, but you get the gold star for remembering. Do you remember?
Well, fair enough. I'm
very proud of you. today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, do you remember Mousetrap? Another great game from my childhood.
It was a great game.
They came out with a new one, though, and it looks completely different. It's very disappointing.
It's ridiculous.
It broke my heart when I got it for my kids. I was like, no, this isn't the classic.
You know what, though? You've got a perfect salve for that broken heart and a blue ribbon. You've won the day, Jesse.
Nice
really,
work.
really
Thank
well
you, guys.
played.
Really good.
It
Really
feels
good.
like a
great.
participation award, but I'll take it.
It's Gorman in the Morning with Fletcher and Ryder, 92 KQRS.
When the new hot item hits the market, I wait for a few generations. I didn't get the first iPhone. As much as the first time I ever saw a commercial for an iPhone, I was like, oh my God, look at that. And then I thought, yeah, I'll get one in a couple years. Let them work out all the bugs.
Mm-hmm.
What was your first iPhone? Like iPhone 5 or iPhone 6? Do you remember?
No. I mean, whatever year they were introduced, I got one for Rosemary first. She got one at Christmas.
Oh, well, I like using Rosemary as the guinea pig.
Well, it's funny because she was the person who's like, that's ridiculous. Why? You don't need all that stuff on a phone. But I was like, oh, no, she'll love this. It was a surprise. I waited. It was probably a year and a half. I don't remember what it was.
Okay.
It might have been a 3 or a 4. It wasn't a 5.
Probably
But
a 2.
anyway, when I finally got one, I really missed the old. I just had like an old Nokia, just a good old fashioned phone, and I don't know. Something about that phone. I still think about it sometimes because I like the sounds better. It had better sound effects.
Okay.
But anyway, that's just me.
BlackBerry Curve was elite as well. I loved the BlackBerry Curve.
BlackBerry people are serious about it. My Nokia had one of the ringtones was just a steady beeping, and I would activate that and walk backwards for a laugh. See what I would do there?
Yeah, it's like a truck.
And when I say laugh, I mean nobody laughed but me because it was so annoying, and I enjoyed being that guy. But anyway, all this to say, I've yet to see a Waymo, an automated taxi, a driverless Uber, if you will. But they've been around a little bit of a while. I have some friends in California that have been in them for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm still like, they're trying to figure out how to get them up here. I mean, there's people in the Twin Cities looking for these. The problem we have here is winter.
Exactly.
Those bad
that's
boys
dicey.
are not built for snow and ice and potholes and all these things. So in warmer climates, it makes a little more sense to unveil these things. Austin, Texas has been inundated with Waymos. It's a big move there. That city, the state capital of Texas, has Waymos left, right, and center. And as you may expect, couple of kinks, couple of little, couple of pebbles in the shoes as it works out. A woman, of course, named Becky Levin Navarro had an issue in a Waymo, and she went straight to TikTok to share with the world what's going on with her autonomous ride.
We're in a Waymo. It was going the wrong way. We called customer support. It stopped us right here and wouldn't let us out of the car. And we kept saying, hey, we're on a highway, please. Cars kept honking at us. And it would not move. It would not let us out. No one from customer support would actually move the Waymo. So now we're walking on Mopac. This is insane, Waymo.
Breezy in Austin that day.
Yeah, a little breezy. She was told by customer service, I'm sorry, we just don't have a way to physically actually move the cars. They sat in a car for 5 minutes and 11 seconds on a highway, not on the side of the highway, on the highway.
Right.
The car just stopped. Here, sorry, and they couldn't get the car to unlock. They were sitting there. I mean, Waymo is, if I'm at Waymo right now, I'm thanking my lucky stars. I mean, the obvious downside of this could be distracted driver month, as it is in April. Someone's eating a plate of tacos and they just slam into that bad boy.
Sure.
Yeah. That's my thing is that she sounds so angry. Frustrated. I mean, I understand it, but at the same time, you got into a Waymo. You have to be prepared for something insane to happen with such early technology.
Well, there is that, but if I walk down the street and I have a $100 bill sticking out of my back pocket and someone steals it, it's still on them. They're the thief.
Yeah,
Waymo screwed up.
Yeah, sure.
And so the idea, she did say also, she several times said, you got to let us out, you got to let us out. And it was only when she threatened to go on social media, she said, I'm going to document this situation. And then, boom, the door's unlocked.
Imagine that. That's a bigger issue than... I mean, the technology, the actual driving part, I feel like you have to be a little forgiving because this is still new technology, but not letting them out of the car is unacceptable.
There's still the idea to me it's such a good idea, just ran away from me. Just a complete brain fart right there. I had something, man, it was great.
I bet it was
really... Of the three of us, I know I'm the only one who has ridden in a Waymo.
That's where I was going. You were in Arizona. That's right.
They were in Phoenix. It is kind of weird to be in there and not have anybody, behind the wheel and
Right.
have the wheel just move by itself. I didn't have an incident. My husband and his boss did have an incident, and the Waymo people did take control of the car and move the car out of this parking lot. It was kind of like had a brain fart in.
Yeah.
So it can be done. I know she's freaking out, but if a Waymo pulled up right now and I needed a ride, I would still get in it.
That's good. Yeah.
My concern with the Waymos has been actually just, it's not the Waymo, but other driver. Like I say, like either every car's automated or none, because the human / satellite guided vehicles, there's just too much. There's too much uncertainty. If every car on the road was on the same operating protocol, if it was all autonomous, I think there'd be less confusion. But the humans are going to mess this up.
That's a very good point. Yes.
I think I know what happened to you a second ago.
What's that?
When you had that brain fart, you were abducted.
Could have been.
Maybe
Could have been.
You just had a block out in time. Yeah, or it could have been a flashback. Yeah.
Or, you know what we could also have done, say, I don't know, 80 years ago, is told the airlines back off. We want trains everywhere. And then this wouldn't be an issue.
Oh, man, that'd be pretty slick.
I'm such a fan of trains.
Bullet train.
You and me both, man. High-speed trains.
Yeah.
Who needs drugs? Just get on a train and go where you want to go. That's what I always say.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Most people say that. If I hit a big lottery win, I would share the wealth with friends and family. But here's an interesting question. Okay, that's great. You suddenly you're flush with cash. You're going to give away money you never had before. So it's a wonderful gesture, but it's not like you're going to miss it because you never had it to begin with. It's just going to go right in one hand and go out the other. How about an organ donor, a living donor? Let's discuss that. How willing are you to share not the wealth, but the health, if you will, with somebody in your life? Would you go the living donor route? If a friend of yours, if a family member, if a loved one said, "Hey, I need a kidney," and you were a match, is that an easy decision for you? Interesting to think about.
It is interesting to think about. When I read the story, immediately I went, "Well, yeah, of course I would do that." But then you think about what the potential impacts and that's scary as hell.
Well, sure.
Man. Like it's doesn't give pause. I'd like to think that I'd still end up at yes.
I think for me it's real simple. It just depends on who we're talking about.
Exactly.
100%.
I mean, it's 100% based on that. If it's family, done. And by that, I mean, if it's my wife or kids, sure. If it's, I have siblings, I have nephews, I have nieces, it's certainly what do you need? If I can do this, I would want to sit down with some medical professionals and say, okay, really? Correct. Is this not a big deal? I'll be all right. But as far as that whole thing about, when I see stories about somebody who heard about someone in town, a stranger they'd never met needed a kidney, and they went and saw, hey, I'm a match. Well, you know what? I gave him a kidney. I think that's wonderful. I think it's great, but I can't say honestly I'd line up and just say, yeah, go ahead, take one.
Yeah, it's going to depend on what the side effects are and how long I'm going to be laid up and all of those sort of things.
It's going to be an individual basis on everything. I agree with you. I'm in line with you as far as family done, really, really close friends, a couple of them done. But then a complete stranger, would I entertain it? Absolutely, I'd entertain it. You know what I mean? You'd go through the process, I guess. But that's scary.
There's a text in that says, I'm not a living donor, but I'm registered with the University of Minnesota. The only thing I cannot give away is a kidney because I actually need one myself. Oh, well, hey, Jake, good luck to you with that one, man.
Absolutely.
I have a very dear friend of mine has had a liver transplant. He had a very severe liver cancer, so much so they said you're not eligible, but he did this experimental treatments. This is almost 20 years ago now. This is in 2008 when he finally got the transplant. He was on his last legs, literally, and then got a call, of course, at midnight. Hey, now for him to get that liver, that meant someone else had to die. Like there was a car accident and a donor,
right.
And it worked out, and he's still with us, and it's a crazy story. And watching him go through that, being on that list for several years, I thought back then, I was like, well, easy to sign the license. I'll be an absolute donor.
Yeah.
No question about organ donor, but the living donor thing, because some people you can do partial liver donations, which I was unaware of until back then. And that's a hard one to imagine. And you get two kidneys, So you can give one up, but then I'm like, yeah, but there's a reason we have two.
Yeah, there is a reason we have two.
Is it like the second kidney like a pancreas? Like you don't really need it?
I don't know.
Appendix,
I wonder how many people donate a kidney and then find out that they need a kidney themselves after that.
I see the wonders the body does in repairing itself and taking care of itself, et cetera, et cetera. I have a hard time believing that second kidney's there just kind of, as baggage.
I'm not sure about that one myself.
Yeah.
But I'm curious if 651-989-ROCK is the talk and text line. If you are or know someone who is a living donor, I'd be fascinated to know the thought process behind that. Like all of the things that go into that decision. About 40% of people say they would be willing to be a living donor. And if you think that's not too many, that's 2 out of 5.
That's a pretty good number.
Pretty good.
I don't know. It seems low to me, especially if you're talking about donating to friends and family versus strangers.
Well, it all averages out, I suppose, right?
Not trying to be funny. My concern would be, are my kidneys worthy of transfer?
Oh, yeah, I got that same thing too. Like, do you want my liver? Probably not.
Yeah, I don't know. I've not been the healthiest. Leading a fairly healthy lifestyle now, but still nothing like. We'll put it this way: if I needed a kidney and they were like, "You can have a kidney that's the guy's been living the same life you've been living," I'd be like, I'd rather have a fresher model. Can I get a cleaner, healthier model? I know beggars can't be choosers, but I wouldn't want my own kidney back. I mean, just saying. We're discussing living donors on the show right now. Would you, could you, should you? 651-989-ROCK. We got Mike from Plymouth on the horn. Mike, good morning, sir.
Hey, how you doing there, Steve?
We're all good over here, brother. Thank you. What do you got for us today?
Well, you called in my wife. I was just getting another cup of coffee and said you were talking about living donors. I'm a living donor, kidney donor, 6 years in the making, and living healthy and large in Plymouth. Everything's good. 100,000 people a year, Steve, are on the list. 6,000 people a year die waiting on kidneys. So if you're healthy and happy, give that kidney up. It's share your spare is our motto.
Wow. Mike, can I ask you, do you know the person that got your kidney, or was it completely anonymous?
Well, it was actually, they call it a paired match out of Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Steve. My wife needed a kidney, and I was not a match. So there was a 6-person chain that went around. Huh. And so, you kind of give a kidney, get a kidney. That's kind of what I call it.
Wow.
So, so it worked out real nice. And the gal that I gave to was a 68-year-old gal, and she was on her last week of life, and now she's been 6 years living with her grandchildren and all that, and enjoying life. So, a real
Mike, that's incredible.
That is it right there. We were talking about, what if it's a random stranger? There you go, right there. You attach a human to it, right? You just gave somebody time with their grandchildren. I got choked up hearing that what come out of your mouth. That's it right there. That's the why.
Yeah, at first, Steve, it was all about the wife, and then it's like you got to get this done for your loved one. But after the fact, and you reflect, and it's kind of helping two people out, and it was a real exciting thing, and very positive.
So, Mike, let me ask you: your wife was on the list. I'm assuming she got a kidney.
Yeah, she did. Yeah,
great.
Because I was able to give Steve. Automatically, then she's on the list.
Oh, that's
so.
Fantastic.
Otherwise, she would have been on. And I know people that were on the list for 10 years, and it took 10 years to wait on the list. But if you've got someone in your world that will give, and you need one, you automatically get on the list, and you'll receive.
Let me just I want to clear one thing up, Mike. This is Paul Fletcher. So, did you guys essentially play? Because you said 6 different people. Did you essentially play like musical chairs with your kidneys?
That's exactly how it works.
Wow.
That's exactly how it works, Paul. Yep.
Man,
insane.
Mike, that's fantastic. Give me those numbers again really quickly. How many people are waiting on a kidney right now?
There's 100,000 people waiting on the list every year, and over 6,000 people wait, pass because the people aren't giving. And again, guys, I'm 63 years old right now, but, I think I was, 57 when I gave. 6 weeks, I was back on the racquetball court beating the guys' butts, and and that. So the recovery time's good if you're healthy. You got to be living a good lifestyle, though. You can't.
Sure.
They won't be if you got diabetes or heart or any of those types of things. You're not going to be able to give. But if you're a healthy individual and you want to do something that changes people's lives, highly recommend it.
Right on. Hey, Mike, thanks so much for your time talking it and, more importantly, walking it. Well done, brother. We've got Donna from Albertville on the horn. Donna, good morning.
Hi.
Donna, what have you got for us?
I donated a kidney of mine to my friend.
Really? How long ago was that?
6 years ago.
And are you guys both doing well today?
We are.
That's incredible. So when you found out your friend needed a kidney, did you immediately look into whether or not you were a match?
I did, because actually I was in the best shape of my life, and I thought, if I can help you, I will. I didn't even talk to my husband about it or kids or nothing. It's just something I felt I needed to do. So, and then I ended up being a match, and she's like, you still want to do it? And I'm like, of course, and
killing me.
The rest is history, and she's doing amazing.
That's really something, Donna. Prior to this, is this something you had ever had in the back of your mind, or did it just just right out of there?
Not at all.
Snap decision. That's fantastic.
When the opportunity came up, you acted like the selflessness that we're hearing right now is incredibly uplifting, man.
Okay, Donna, what sucks about having to donate a kidney? Because it can't all be great.
There you go.
Like how
the recovery. Okay. I will never have a core again.
Well, that's fair.
Sit-ups are overrated anyway.
To answer your guys' question, if I were to ever need a kidney, because I'm a donor, they put you right in the front of the line.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then.
Got it. So what were the chances that you were going to be a match? What are the numbers? Like, how unlikely was it that your dear friend would need a kidney and you would end up being able to donate one?
I really don't know that answer.
All right. Donna.
I don't know, but I know, both she had PKD, polycystic kidney disease, and both her kidneys were removed. So all she has is me.
Wow. That's something. Literally life-saving. Donna, thanks so much, and all the best.
Connect with us on the KQ Talk and Text line. 651-989-ROCK. That's 651-989-ROCK. 92 KQRS.
Thomas Jefferson University, TJU to the locals.
Oh, really?
Maybe. In Philadelphia. It's a nursing school, I believe, in Philadelphia. And as we were just discussing the fact that a university in New York City this year used an AI-generated voice to read the graduates' names. Paul Fletcher. Steve Gorman.
Yeah.
It sounded like, you said it right, it sounded like a game show host.
I'm jealous when you do that, though. Because I don't have a voice like that.
You don't have that voice.
I sound like a cartoon character. Anyway,
well, listen, we can't all grow up pretending to be on the radio. But Thomas Jefferson University, quite famously, at their graduation last year, they also had somebody reading the names of the graduates, but it wasn't an AI game show host. It was a real person.
Okay.
And let's just say it didn't go perfectly.
Okay.
Sayer Uvun Jinju Brinan. Victoria Lee Zubeth Ross. Marlena Zobeth Camp.
It just looks so
Tom Moldmay. Thomas.
Poor Thomas kid. He's
Man.
like, I can't let this one go.
It would have been great if he'd walked up and said, it's actually Thomas.
Right? Yeah. What was his last name? Johnson?
His last name was actually mispronounceable, so I don't think she even tried on that one. So I pulled some of these names. They're really, really common names.
Okay.
Do you guys want to give these a shot? I'm going to play them for you. Tell me what you think these names might be.
Okay.
Here's the first one.
Sayer Uvun Jinju Brinan.
Any guesses?
Sayud.
What?
Cyrus Vance. I don't know.
That's incorrect.
Yeah.
Okay, that would be this name.
Sayer Uvun Jinju Brinan.
I can't even
Sarah Virginia Brennan.
Come on.
Yes.
That's how it was pronounced?
Yes.
Who?
And it was supposedly spelled phonetically on the card, and they handed it to this woman.
Oh, my God.
And she couldn't do it.
Could you play one more time?
Sure.
Sayer Uvun Jinju Brinan.
What is happening? Is the person having a stroke?
Man.
All right, let's give you one more. Here's another one.
All right.
Marlena Zobeth Camp.
Okay, one more time.
Marlena Zobeth Camp.
These are 3 very common names.
It's
Marlena. Marlena.
Well, I think it's
Mary something, maybe.
Mary Elizabeth.
You're very close, Steve.
Let me hear it one more time.
Marlena Zobeth Camp.
Mary
Elizabeth Camp.
You are so close on that one. It's Molly Elizabeth Camp.
Molly Elizabeth Camp. Okay, Malila Zabeth. Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh, man. Yeah, this poor woman. I think she just gave up halfway through. And I can't let this go without mentioning our favorite substitute teacher from the inner city.
Ron.
Oh, Ron.
Where are you?
It's as good as
Where
it gets.
is Ron right now? Here. Why didn't you answer me the first time I said it, huh? I'm just asking, I said it like 4 times. So why didn't you say it the first time I said Ron?
Because it's pronounced Aaron?
Son of a
Key and Peele.
I would love to have been in that class as long as I'm not Aaron.
Man.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
EMTs offering things, people that work in the emergency rooms and people that come and get you in the ambulance. There's a whole list of things. They're like, hey, here's something you got to do. You should know. Very simple tips to keep us all a little bit safer. And some of these are kind of, they would seem obvious, like always wear a helmet. If you're on a bicycle or a scooter, obviously a motorcycle, even if you're just, anything that's beyond walking, probably best to wear a helmet.
Those freaking Segways.
Please on those.
E-scooters, good Lord.
Doesn't take much to do a real number on your own beam. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You fall down. But here's one, and I had this conversation with my wife recently. Don't put your legs up on the dashboard.
Oh,
Obviously,
does she do that?
In the passenger seat.
Yeah.
Well, she doesn't stick them up there and leave them there, but I'll notice, like, on the glove, on the passenger side, there's just always, like, scuff mark looking things. And I'm like, what is happening over here? And she'll just occasionally, she has enough room, she can, like, cross her legs.
Yeah.
And occasionally, but her shoe will just rub against it. And it always looks like, I'm like, what? Can we just keep the car clean? Why do your feet have to be on the dashboard?
Right.
She doesn't leave them there, but they do end up there at some point. But
so you're not concerned for her safety, just the
no.
cleanliness of her car?
Yeah. No, of course not.
Cleanliness.
One of the guys wrote, he said, don't put your legs on the dashboard unless you want bilateral femur fractures.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's just tough.
That doesn't sound good. That sounds less than ideal.
That doesn't sound good at all. And then again, another one, very basic. Wear your seatbelt. Do you know anyone that's like a seatbelt freedom freak who refuses to wear them?
Yeah, my meat guy from South Dakota. When
Really?
he's in town, he's like, he doesn't put it on, and then the alarm starts to go off, and I'm like, Stropes, this thing's just going to keep dinging until you put that. And he'll like go as far as to push in the button. And he's like, it rubs on my neck weird, blah, blah, blah. But no.
Rubs weird on the neck.
I got the seatbelt lecture in elementary school, like probably first or second grade. There was a whole thing. And it stuck, man. And I immediately became seatbelt monitor for the Gorman family because I had much older siblings and parents, people who were just like optional seatbelt. And I was obsessed about, no, you absolutely have to wear your seatbelt. Only up front. I didn't mind in the backseat. But I was like, the people up front, because I look back and we used to take family trips, big station wagon. We'd be piled up. I would sleep on the floorboards of the back seat. I would lay across the floorboard, and my brothers would put their feet up on the back seat or in the very back of the station wagon.
My mom is having a panic attack right now just
Really?
listening to you recount this. Yes, we were very much you have to wear your seatbelt to the point where it feels weird for me to get into a car and not be wearing one.
Oh, I can't. I can't be in a car without a seatbelt on. It's just never. There's never been a time when I thought I'm just gonna tempt fate, or I'm gonna stick it in your face to the man. I'll stick it in the man's face, but not about seatbelts.
We had the big Buick Estate wagon, the massive station wagon.
Yeah, you did.
Had the seat in the back that faced the back.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see those anymore. I think probably for good reason.
I would imagine. Yeah,
Can you
yeah.
imagine?
That's what I mean.
I would say my brother and I would fight over getting to sit in that back seat. The jump seat, essentially.
We had 2 station wagons. At one time, my family had 2 giant late 60s station wagons. And one of them, the seat faced the back, and the other one, it was 2 seats that faced each other in the very back. Little benches.
That was a thing?
Yeah, man. Oh, heck yeah.
Hey, Ryder, you should tell your meat guy that the windshield and the pavement are going to rub a lot worse than the seatbelt.
Than the seatbelt?
Yeah,
that's a very good point.
Mm-hmm.
So one firefighter said, I'm a firefighter, 16 years on the job. If your carbon monoxide detectors are going off, get everyone out of the house and stay out. Don't try to figure it out for yourself. Yeah, I don't mess with that. If I have a carbon monoxide detector, I would never for 1 second think, I'll handle this. Yeah, I'd be like, no, I would handle it all the way to a deep sleep forever. Yeah, that's a no-brainer for me.
I like the really general ones because they apply to everything, right? Call 911 as soon as you think there's an emergency. It's better to have us rolling out there and turn out to be nothing than have you waffling on whether or not to call. Like, if you're using it in good faith, they're never going to get angry at you. And the other one that I thought was good, too, is if you don't know what to do, don't try to help. The best help you can do is get the hell out of the way.
Oh, well, there is that. Yeah, the idea of moving somebody who's been in an accident, like just to try to clear them from the wreckage or whatever.
No, don't.
I learned that in just playing sports. Like somebody goes down and they're hurt and you think like, I'll help him up. He's my teammate. And I specifically did that with a kid who had just run into a wall in basketball and he broke his wrist. And I tried to grab him and pull him up like you do. Yeah. And it's a good lesson. Like,
by that wrist?
Leave him be. Just let that guy go.
I'd love to hear some EMTs or first responders chime in on this 651-989-ROCK, because there's got to be situations like if there's a fire or if there's some kind of danger thing like that where you should be figuring out the best way to do that and not just standing by.
There's a lot of these that are pretty great. The best, however, not from an EMT, somebody who says they work in medical records and having read through thousands of ER reports, they've got some tips for us. On the talk and text line, we were discussing station wagons, and Chris just wrote in 2 words, Vista Cruiser. My family didn't have the Vista Cruiser station wagon when I was a kid, but when I was in college, my brother bought an old used Vista Cruiser station wagon. This thing was absolutely ginormous.
As a tank.
And we would sit, he would be driving, I'd be in the passenger seat, and one day we noticed we were wearing the same shoes. We had the same high tops on, the exact same style of shoe.
Okay.
And so he put his left foot out his driver's window, like leaned. It was big enough where you could still sit there driving, and his left leg was up and his left foot was out the window. And then I sat down in the passenger seat where you couldn't see me and put my right foot out the right window. So to anybody looking at the car, it looked like the driver had both feet out the windows.
Yes.
If I'm painting that picture appropriately enough.
The most uncomfortable split ever.
Yeah, but we thought that was the funniest thing going. My God, did we think that was great.
You're not wrong.
There was not much happening in a small, sleepy college town back in the day, trust me. Talking about things you can do, safety tips here. And we had some EMTs that had weighed in. Here's one. This is pretty great. I work in medical records in a hospital. I've read thousands of ER reports. Here's a handful of tips. Ready?
Oh, boy.
Let's hear it.
Do not celebrate your 50th birthday by getting drunk and then lean over to pet a stranger's dog as you are exiting the bar.
Oh, man, there goes my 50th birthday plans.
You can only imagine the various things that went wrong there.
It's inevitably a big dog with big teeth, too. It's never a little tiny dog.
I would think so.
Yeah.
How about
this
one?
The big dogs are the ones worth petting.
That's always the case.
Take it easy on the small dogs, people. Come on.
Do not swallow 2 live snakes in an attempt to impress your date.
Done.
Have you ever known anybody that would swallow animals? Like, I'm asking.
Like a goldfish or whatever?
Yeah. Like, there's always one kid that'll be like, you'd find a little lizard or something, and he would just. Yeah,
that's quite a leap though from swallowing a goldfish to 2 snakes.
Well, there's the kid who's 10 trying to gross you out. Then there's the guy who's trying to impress a date. That's a whole different level.
Yeah, that's just no. You said don't do it. I'm not done.
Here's another one. Do not get drunk and then ride in the back of an open pickup truck.
Yeah, that's never a good idea.
I just think about the number of times I've been in the back of a pickup truck, which is many. It's been a long time, but back as a younger man, of course. Never thought twice about it. Never once did it occur to me, this could go horribly wrong pretty easily.
Mom grew up on a farm.
Yeah.
So I've done this many, many times.
Sure.
But it's dirt roads, middle of nowhere, not going that fast with Grandpa driving, that kind of a thing. So
yeah, sure.
I think that's different than what they're talking about, but maybe not.
It's just you never know, especially when you're on the farm. If you get you might land in a hay bale. At least you got that going for you.
Exactly.
Finally, there's this one. Do not put Gatorade bottles into your damn near killed them. I'll say.
Wow.
Into
your rectum.
The back end?
Wow.
Don't put Gatorade bottles in your rectum.
What if it's the blue Gatorade?
Tip.
Is that okay?
Safety tip. No. Nobody.
None of them?
Nobody at all. Not interested in seeing that happen.
Need to be like all natural orange juice, like something more pure.
That's exactly right. You want to get the it's a much more direct way to get the vitamins into your bloodstream.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Organic.
It's a jupository, they call that. Juice pository.
It's Gorman in the Morning with Fletcher and Ryder, 92 KQRS.
We've been talking about bear encounters, and I was reminded of a story from just a few months ago in California. The end of the story was when 4 men from Los Angeles were charged with insurance fraud because all 4 men drove luxury vehicles, and all four men reported a grizzly bear got into our cars and destroyed them. The interior of their vehicles, all destroyed, and they filed for an extensive amount of repairs they needed done. And not only that, they went to the police and said our Ring camera caught video of the bear in one of the cars.
Well, of course.
Okay. And
that would really help with the claim and everything like that. Because we just talked about a couple that had their car destroyed. Looking at the TikTok, it was just like a whole tornado had gone through there. This thing was messed up.
Yeah, well, the California Insurance Commissioner was alerted to this bizarre story. And then he looked at the video and thought something was a little weird. And then he looked at the fact that this bear seems to be getting inside of all these luxury vehicles, and then he talked to somebody who understood bears and realized, that's a dude in a bear suit. Here's a little bit of very real. Here's some of the special coverage from the time.
This man lives next door to 2 of the suspects. He says police came early this morning to make arrests.
It was 7 o'clock. We opened the door. They told us to shut it. Really? So we were kind of peeking through. They had the ram thing or whatever,
We showed him the videos of what investigators say is the fake bear car invasions.
That's amazing. I would have never thought of that. I mean, that's pretty far out there. But hey, whatever works. But I mean, if they found a bear suit.
And in fact, investigators did find a bear costume, complete with fake claws. They also sent these photos of what the suspects claimed was damage to the insides of their cars. The scratch marks appear suspiciously symmetrical.
I would have never thought of that.
If they would have let that guy keep talking, you know what he was going to say next? I reckon I'll have me some of them French fry potatoes.
Man, that's a very good chance of that.
I would have never thought of that.
Man, I would have never thought of that.
No, never thought of that.
That's about as good as it gets.
Gorman in the Morning is also Gorman on the go. Get the 92 KQRS app and stream live or catch the Gorman in the Morning podcast anytime. 92 KQRS.